Hey, do you know what time it is? That's right. It's time for Coach Lindy's podcast. The podcast to get you moving. Hi, I'm Lindy Hutchinson, a certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute. As a life coach, I help others transform their life as I have mine. It's not easy, but it is possible, and it most certainly is worth it. Each week, I'll share insights that inform, inspire, and ignite in you your desire to create a life that you love. So let's find out what's going on this week. Greetings and welcome to the podcast. Coach Lindy here, and it's always my privilege to be with you. So this week, we're going to talk about someone who is near and dear to my heart. I have a certain fondness for this lady, and I saw a new documentary featuring her. You may recognize the name. Her name is Susan Powter. If you were alive and well in the 1990s, you could not hear about Susan. She was everywhere. She wasn't bald, but she was almost bald. She had her hair shaved really, really close, and she was a fitness guru. Susan Powter. Stop the Insanity. Susan, in this new documentary of this year, 2025, filmed by her good friend Jamie Lee Curtis, Susan has gone through some pretty rough years, but they show how she's essentially making a comeback, and I'm hoping that it goes really well because she's still dynamic and still amazing. Our word for this week, our power word, is recovery. And that's what when I think about Susan Powter, because once you hear her story, you see how she's been able to keep recovering if different waves of things happen to her. I don't know her full story when she was young, but she was born in Australia. I didn't know that, in 1957. So today she is 68, and she said something about in the video being 66, but I'm pretty sure it was filmed in last year, 2024. So she is a motivational speaker, nutritionist, personal trainer, and author, and it's her catchphrase, Stop the Insanity, that put her into a stratosphere of the super successful with infomercials, which then were pretty new. They said that she was a cross between Richard Simmons and Betty Friedman, the Lenny Bruce of wellness. So, Susan, if you remember her, she had some rough edges. It could be kind of blunt, but I think that kind of added to her charm. She was an advocate of eating whole foods, not necessarily diet foods, getting away from the ultra-processed stuff, and doing cardiovascular exercises and strength training. She was known for being a little blunt, and she was almost always barefoot. So her life was pretty interesting in that she was raised in Sydney, Australia for the first 10 years, and then her family migrated to Texas. After a fairly short time of being married, she discovered that her husband was having an affair, and she found solace and comfort in food, which a lot of us do. She turned to diet books and to workout tapes, and she didn't do too well with it. But then she managed to slim down on her own. She gained over 100 pounds, but she went down to 114 pounds, which is actually smaller than what she weighed initially, by eating whole foods and moving. And that was her whole premise. I had one of her DVD tapes, which I faithfully did Monday through Friday. When I picked my kids up from school, I'd pop in my Susan Powter tape and do my exercising. Unfortunately, this is brought out in the video, the documentary, which I would encourage you to watch. It's very interesting. But she explains how she got into a deal when you're starting off, and she was excited to have things moving along. I won't explain the whole thing. It's pretty interesting. But she signed a deal, which often happens, that favored the corporation who supposedly represented her. And basically, they took a huge amount of money from her. And then she ended up suing them. And it cost her millions and millions of dollars. And it was very difficult. And there were some other problems. She still had a lot of videos. I'm not sure who all got the money for that. And she won awards. She had a lot of recognition. And during her heyday, she said she was pretty much on every talk show there was. I think I saw the video, the documentary, on Prime. This is December of 2025. It may be from a different source, but I would encourage you to see Stop the Insanity, Finding Susan Powter. And it's by Jamie Lee Curtis. Very interesting, very well done. And it talks about her highs and lows. And when you first start, I'm not going to tell you too much, but when you first start watching the video, she is doing food delivery. It's not Uber. What's the food one? Anyway, it's pretty sad to see her doing that, although she's a worker and she never feels sorry for herself. But it is a great video documentary because for me, I like happy endings, and it shows her relaunching a new book, which you can get on Amazon, and this new documentary, which helps introduce her to a whole new generation of folks. So this week, our power word is recovery, and our featured profile in positivity is the Susan Powter, we know as being a bombshell, and she still is, and she still looks great. She's older, has some wrinkles, but she's still amazing, and she's still eating whole foods. So she stands by what she says. So out of the, hey, that's funny file, one of my favorite, Phyllis Diller says, you know, at my age, my back goes out more than I do. Thank you, Phyllis. So it was good to see you again. Hope you're staying out of trouble. Or if you get into a lot of trouble, invite me and we'll have trouble together. Keep building your dreams. Keep creating a life that you love because you're worth it. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for joining me this week. I look forward to being with you every week. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, please email me at coachlindy@lindyhutchinson.com. My name is spelled L-Y-N-D-I, so it's Coach Lindy, L-Y-N-D-I, at Lindy Hutchinson, LYNDIHUTCHINSON.com. I value what your input is, and I'm always open up for suggestions and ideas. If you will like and or subscribe to this podcast, that would be wonderful. I appreciate it. And I enjoy anything that you might want to send in, or if you would like some more information about coaching, send me an email and I will get back with you, and we'll talk about how you can create your best life. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.